My heart is extraordinarily heavy right now as we're going into Shabbos at Boker Raton Synagogue, and for the very first time closing the halls, closing the doors, closing the campus of our shul, a place that welcomed so many, each and every day, especially every weekend, 8 different minyanim and diverse populations who came together with love and community and people, and to say that instead this room is going to be empty, that nobody will be here to fill these seats and these pews. Nobody will be here to experience a Kriyas HaTorah. Nobody will be here to fill this room with song this Shabbos. It's really heavy on our hearts and difficult, but I want to share with you a couple quick thoughts as we go into Shabbos. The last 48 hours have been long and difficult. We've deliberated, we've agonized, we've researched, we've asked, and ultimately we had to come to the conclusion that so many others have come to, which was that the safest thing to do to slow a spread, God forbid, of this horrific virus is simply to close our doors. Now, doing so is painful. To not come to shul, to not daven b'tzibur, to not be able to connect with community is as if to remove one of our organs. It's to take a piece out of ourselves, and yet it's what's demanded of us. And something that today occurred to me that's giving me some sort of support and comfort is this thought. Coronavirus seems to be something pernicious, and it's spreading, and we don't know where it ends or how far it travels or the danger it will present. That's so much a part of this, is how much we don't know. But it seems, according to experts, that for the average relatively young and healthy person, even if one were to contract coronavirus, it would not be terribly dangerous or lethal. You could recover quickly, you may not even know you have symptoms. So why are we taking these extraordinary steps and measures? Why have Jewish communities everywhere? Why is the world, the global population, taking these steps? Well, it's to slow down its progress and to ensure whatever resources, whatever hospitals, whatever intensive care unit beds we have would be available for those who need them, the most vulnerable population. So what occurred to me is that what we're all collectively doing, the Mesiras Nefesh, the self-sacrifice of giving up community and giving up convenience and giving up comfort, is something we're doing not even to protect ourselves in most cases, but really to protect and to be there for those who are vulnerable and need it most. And somehow, somewhat paradoxically, it feels better and it's more comforting to know that we're doing something not for ourselves but for others. And if we think about it in that way and we teach that to our children, that all these extraordinary measures are not about only keeping us safe, though they're that too, but they're about ensuring that the most vulnerable and fragile among us, that the resources that would be needed for them won't be needed, or that they will be available to them, and that this Mesiras Nefesh is really not even about us. So ironically, even as we're apart and separate from one another, we're displaying great commitment and connection to community, to people, to nation. That even while we are isolated, we've never been more together, because what we're doing is for our greater whole, much more than the sum of our parts, and hopefully that is a source of comfort and consolation. A quick thought on our parsha, because for us, Shabbos is characterized by shul, by coming, shul, davening, drasha, youth group, shalashudis, socializing, activity. There's so much part of what we identify with the Shabbos experience, but that's not all Shabbos is about. Our parsha tells us, Es sha'ach es Shabbos osai tishmoru. And the Ksava Kabbalah of Yaakov Tzvi Meckenberg points out that it's the plural, Shabbos osai. Why are there 2 Shabboses? There's really only one. Every week, at the end of that week, there's 25 hours, there's one Shabbos. So why is it referred to in the plural, Shabbos osai? And he has a brilliant insight that I think is particularly relevant for all of us this Shabbos, who are unable to congregate and unable to come to shul to be able to celebrate. Shabbos osai, he says, there's the Shabbos of the guf. We have to rest and relax and abstain from 39 acts of creative labor. Our body goes through a Shabbos mode. Things that we normally or normatively do, we refrain from, we abstain from, we experience the rest and the passivity of Shabbos. That's the passive part of Shabbos. That happens to us whether we welcome it or not. We're obligated in it, whether we recognize it or not. Shabbos comes and we are bound by it. But there's a second Shabbos in the Shabbos osai tishmoru. Says the Ksava Kabbalah, there's the Shabbos we create. There's the Shabbos that we make. What kind of kiddush, what kind of shalom aleichem, what kind of zmiros, what kind of divrei Torah, what kind of energy, what kind of atmosphere. And this Shabbos, more than others, we need to step up and not just observe a passive Shabbos, which is placed upon us, but we need to actively and proactively create and fashion and mold. We need to embrace a sense of a Shabbos, to sing Kabbalah Shabbos with our family, to let our children choose the tunes. We need to be able to sit at that table and make it more joyous and more festive. We need to complement, we need to fill the void that we won't have from community and shul ourselves. And so we should find comfort in what we're doing for one another. And Yehi Ratzon, I offer a tefillah, a heartfelt prayer for all of us, that this is only very temporary, very short-lived, that we're able to return to our shuls and our schools and our normal life, that those who've been afflicted be healed, and that we and all be healthy, safe, and secure. Wishing you a peaceful and a restful Shabbos, a Shabbos in which we take this extra time, an extra time at home for the things we claim we never have time for. Time with our family, time learning Torah, time reading, time resting. And that we come out of this even more rejuvenated and inspired than ever. Have a wonderful Shabbos.